I'm very strategic at placing myself, at salons, because you just got to think like, what is it that you want out of this situation? So the next place that I picked, big short hair place, huge short hair place. I feel like it was two. It's two in Atlanta, right? It's two that are huge. And I went and interviewed for one and I didn't get the job. Actually, in hindsight, the second location that I actually got hired at, she taught the lady of the first person that I didn't get hired at. So it's like, you can really get the information straight from the person, who taught this person. What's better than that? So I was like, all right, but so came on in. All of this being said, I was transitioning from salon to salon, but on top of all of that, I was transitioning from commission to booth rent. So commission is where somebody is providing clients, providing products, housing a place for you to style hair, marketing for you. You got a receptionist, somebody who's checking out your clients for you, all that stuff. I left all that to go to a situation where, I have to do all of that for myself, right? So not only was I new, I didn't have nobody. I had no clients, none. And in my head, I was just like, I'm going hard at this place. Nobody can stop me. I got this, da-da-da-da-da. Just to move to this place and almost start from scratch, And it's I feel like situations like that where you're like, you feel like you're the big fish or whatever, and you're grinding, you hustling, you doing well. It's almost good to have a transition where you're just like a small fish in this huge pond of like huge big fish. It's great because you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? And I was the weakest link, and I was like around all these heavy hitters. Y'all, I would come into work and sit there just like I'm sitting in this chair. I would come into work and sit there and just be like, y'all need some help? I'll fold towels. Like it was so scary because I was paying $250 a week, $250 a week, coming from a situation where somebody is just giving me people, right? So I know a lot of times people, especially like newer stylists, they come out of school now and it's like, I don't want nobody to tell me nothing. I'm gonna go straight to, owning my own salon, and that's just not realistic. Like, you're gonna fail, you know what I mean? Or you're gonna have a really, really hard time. So I wouldn't take it back. I really think that starting off at a commission salon, learning all that I can learn there, and then transitioning into a booth rental situation was the best. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, came in, had a conversation, talked to the owner. I was terrified. And I was just like, hey, I don't have any clients. She told me it was $250 a week. I was like, in my head, I already was like, okay, I got 3 credit cards. I'm gonna max these jokers out if I have to until I get some clients. But I just wasn't gonna give up. So anyway, I would come in and wouldn't have no clients. And luckily for me, she had a wonderful team of people who were so willing to share and give me information and knowledge to help me get to where I am now. In addition to that, she can teach her ass off. Like, you can't work there and say you didn't learn anything. Like, you just can't. And I definitely would say that she taught me everything I know when it comes down to cutting. Like, she literally stood there with me, told me, this is how you're supposed to hold your hand. This is how you need to hold your shears. This is the type of shears that you need to get. I'll never forget one time, I was like on my own, right? So she was like, all right, I see you working hard. I'm gonna reward you. I'm gonna give you this client, right? It was a walk-in. So as a business owner now, when somebody comes through that door and you pass them off to another stylist in your salon, it's your brand. It's your name that's on it. So if they're not just as good as you, you could potentially never see that person again. You can never see that client again. So she took a huge risk letting me do this. And the girl came in, and this was a complete transformation. So the girl came in, she had hair down her back, and she wanted a pixie cut, right? She wanted like this Rihanna pixie cut. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I could do this. All right, I could do this. So I'm like overthinking in my head, and I can see her like, you know, our stations were across the room from each other, but she would just be like, you know, looking over, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So I get done with the girl's hair, and it is nowhere near the picture that she showed me. And I will never forget, she came over to me and she was just like, so why'd you do that? And I was like, I don't know. She said it don't look nothing like the picture. And I was just like, I felt so bad. I felt like I let her down. I felt like the client wasn't never coming back. I felt like the client didn't want to pay me. I was just like, it was just, it was so emotional. But that moment was like, all right, this will never happen to me again. So I just went even harder. And hey, after that, like, show me a picture, I got you. If I needed help, I was gonna ask. I also felt like, you know, I just didn't want to bug anybody. I didn't want to scare my client and make my client feel like I didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't ask questions. But sometimes you just have to. Like, we all have started from ground zero, you know, day one. So, you know, after that, I was like, this is never happening to me again. I'm gonna ask questions. You know, I'm gonna make sure my client is comfortable, and you know, we're gonna do this. And I did it. I can honestly say that she taught me everything. She helped me raise my prices, and I never had a problem paying booth rent. I never had to max out any credit cards. Never had to put any of my booth rent on any of my cards. She just taught me so much. I learned so much from her. So, you know, it was a great situation, and I'm so thankful for her giving me a shot. I'm thankful for the other stylists in the salon, you know, that saw something in me that helped me out, and you know, just forever grateful to them. So I worked there for a while, and even though I learned a lot about what to do, I also learned what not to do. And this is when I felt like, okay, business, like that, the business side of being a stylist just has to be, you know, in place. And, you know, there were a couple of like quick changes and, you know, behind the scenes stuff that I just really didn't like. And, you know, I was like, this ain't right. And I am the type of person, I guess you can call me a rebel. I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong word, but I'm the type of person, like, if it ain't right, I'm out. I don't care, you know, if it's gonna be hard or whatever, like, I'ma hit it, because, you know, I know I'm an asset wherever I am. I know that I'm a good team member. I know I'm a lookout. I know I'm gonna be loyal. So if you misuse me or if things aren't right, I'm out. I don't want to have to go there with you. So eventually, you know, we parted ways. And unlike the first time that I left the last salon where I just packed up and was like, all right, see y'all tomorrow, I actually, you know, did the right thing in this salon. I came in, you know, I gave her my key, I gave her my booth rent for the rest of the week, and I said, you know, I'll no longer be working here. This is it for me. And that was it.